Hello, my name is Tawada Chilton, and it's my pleasure to present to you this instructional video about teaching overarm throwing to children aged 6 years and in year 1 of the Australian curriculum. This is a demonstration of what we mean by overarm throwing. Note how the arm is swung back and over the head. The opposite arm is used for balance and the body weight move forward from the back foot to the front foot. Before we consider how to teach overarm throwing, we will consider why we should. The Australian Department of Health, in line with other developed nations, recommends that children spend at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity every day. Overarm throwing is a moderate intensity physical activity. A systematic review carried out by Oakley et al. In 2012 found a high level of evidence for increased level of physical activity being beneficial for cardiometabolic health, prevention of unhealthy weight gain, muscle and skeletal health, mental health, and cardiorespiratory fitness. Helping children learn how to be physically active and look after their health is the school's role in the society, just as it is to teach them to read and write. This is neatly summarized in the quote shown. By providing opportunities to be physically active, schools can help to support disadvantaged children. UNESCO notes that for many children, especially those from less advantaged backgrounds, school physical education programs provide the only regular session of physical activity. Numerous studies have shown a positive relationship between physical activity and academic achievement. UNESCO suggests that physical activity can support academic progress by improving a child's attention span and cognitive processing skills. So we can see the rationale for providing physical activity in school, but why teach throwing? Throwing is a fundamental movement skill. The acquisition of fundamental movement skills would prepare students to participate confidently and creativity in a range of physical activities is at the core of the health and physical education curriculum. In year 1, students are expected to perform these fundamental movement skills. The curriculum states that the child should be able to demonstrate how to transfer weight from one part of the body to another, which is a key part of overarm throwing. However, a study has shown that skill levels have been declined over the past 20 years. The lower skill levels for 6-year-olds are adversely impacting their participation in physical activity. Another study has shown that competency was especially low in the overarm throwing girls. Teaching overarm throwing to girls is therefore important to help address this gender imbalance. So how can we teach overarm throwing? When teaching overarm throw, there are two principles of movement to keep in mind: momentum and speed. By pulling back the throwing arm and leaning the weight onto the back foot, more force will be transferred to the ball when the thrower swings their arm forward and brings their weight to the front foot. The faster the swing of the throwing arm, the faster the ball will go when thrown. Sport New Zealand notes that these principles lead to a number of important cues to focus on. Notes that Meldrum and Peters remind us that you should focus on one teaching cue at a time, particularly for children at the introductory stage of learning to throw overarm. Grasp the ball in one hand, whatever hand the child feels more comfortable with. Position the body side onto where the throw is intended to go. In other words, do not stand facing forward. This is a common error in early years. Bring the throwing arm a long way back to get sufficient momentum. Take a step forward with the opposite foot to the throwing arm. Swing the arm through with it as long as possible at the point of release. After letting go of the ball, follow through the throwing arm in the direction of the target. Children in the introductory state will show some or all of the throwing traits in an overarm throw. The body faces the target instead of the sides on. There is limited backswing and little weight to place on the back foot. There is little or no transfer of weight forward. Follow through is downwards. For children who show this trait, Meldrum and Peters suggest that when teaching them, talk about how the throw should be performed rather than the outcome of the throw. Make sure that there is enough equipment for all children to practice the skill as much as possible. Ideally, have at least one ball for each child, providing positive reinforcement at all times so that children do not become disheartened and keep trying. If children show the following behaviors, then they have progressed to the intermediate stage. Arm is swung back and then forward eye over the shoulder. There is some weight transfer from the back foot to the front foot. The body turns side onto the target. However, they step forward with the same foot as their throwing arm. Mentrum and Peters suggest that when children are at this level, feedback should be short and specific, and after it has been delivered, you should walk away to another child rather than standing to watch the next attempt. Studies have shown that children are at particular risk of teasing during physical activity, and this teasing can lead to reduced self-esteem and a reluctance to participate in physical activity into adult life. Therefore, try to avoid situations such as having a child perform a task with all their peers watching, or comparing children's performances. Finally, remember to always protect children from the sun while performing physical activities outdoors. Children should always be wearing a hat, have sun cream applied, and have on suitable UV protective clothing. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. Good luck with teaching our young children over harm throwing.